Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound, please. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes to understand ourselves, how this meditation practice can help for our day-to-day life. Because every day in the beginning, I'm trying to give you some information to clarify yourself how valuable this practice. Because when you understand by yourself, it makes you more clear. If you don't understand it yourself, it doesn't matter how, whatever the other people say about it, it's not going to work for you. Because that's how the meditation helped for me. And I somehow myself understood through different ways how this practice can help for me. And then deeply inside myself, when I practice, before I get into practice, I had a very clear understanding about the technique. So then when I go to practice, it became very easy. It is just not only through meditation, any physical practice, especially when I practice martial art or yoga, and sometimes again and again. So at that time, we used to practice martial art by reading books. It was very difficult. And watching the video clips. And sometimes it is very difficult to understand which side to turn, right or left or back or forward. So like that. So how to watch again and again and again, rewind again and again and again watching. And when I practice weapons, reading books and following the pictures and holding the sword and turning the sword to the left or right or like that, and go again and again, it took time. But when the clarity comes to the mind, the physical techniques become very easy. And not only that, that physical practice going to bring some more information than the information in the book. And then the same method with the yoga also, when sometimes very difficult, when we master the postures, very difficult sometimes to understand how this posture can work. So then I start to watch it physically and get a very clear mental picture. And then I practice myself, it became more easy for me. So that's how I understood. Before getting to practice, you have to have a very clear mental picture or the understanding. Then the practice become very easy. So for most of people, or the students or the practitioners, why the meditation become difficult, or why it becomes so hard, or why not the result not going to be? Because they don't have the clear understanding how the technique work, or the how this effect for us, or how to practice. So it is your own responsibility to become very clear with the practice and get a very, very clear mental understanding in the beginning. And once you have that clarity, then you can go with the practice. And when you get into the practice, you no need it. So it's kind of like a ladder. You no need to depend on what you understand. But before you get into practice, it is very necessary. So otherwise, just dreaming, just guessing, just having kind of like a doubt in our mind, we cannot get into that. So where that mental clarity bring a deeper confidence, very good mental foundation to go with it. That's what you need. That's why every day I try to bring some information to clarify yourself. So when it comes to the meditation, that the final goal is liberation, transformation, or ultimate bliss of Nibbana. So when it comes to liberation, so today we're going to talk about it a little bit, because understanding that is very necessary. What is this liberation? So maybe you heard the word when it comes to the politics, social, economy. So kind of like we use the word mostly liberty. So the liberty is a kind of like the state of being free within society from restrictions, or kind of like imposed by authority on others' way of life, behavior, or the political views. And because that in the history, in certain kind of time periods, people didn't have that. The state of being free, even in the society, people didn't have it. Why? Because the king used to hold the power of taking decisions. And as you know, when you grow under hierarchy, or when you are under someone else, then you have no authority. So there was human civilizations, thousand years sometimes. People didn't have that opportunity, even to have their own way of life. They used to live under someone else. And they used to work under someone else. They used to do everything under someone else. When somebody else say, okay, go and fight, they go and fight. They have no opportunity. They cannot say no. When someone else says surrender, they surrender it. Then when someone else said die, there are people, they have no opportunity. They have to give up their life and die. When someone else say kill, then there are some people go and kill others. So the liberty was a big thing for when it comes to human civilizations. Because you get the society or the life or the person get the opportunity to have their own way of life. Today we already came through this all the situation, and we already have it. That's why we don't understand the value of it. But still, in a certain way, even though we have that, and sometimes underneath this all, silently, the kind of like by organized society or the culture or the traditions or sometimes by religions overtake your liberty. We don't see it. And in the very beginning, how they do it, it brings you the comfort to you and give you all the comfort and the necessary facilities. So once you depend on the facilities, what happens? You forget about the real way of life. But in the ancient time, our ancestors had so much struggle, fight to gain this once their own way of life. And that's why in the human history, liberty was something very big in the very first time when they experience it. But today we have it, but at the same time, we lose it underneath silently in a different way. So especially with these machines and technology and social medias and the news agencies, and sometimes manipulate your liberty. But we don't see it. Why? Because on the surface level, we are caught up in the comfort zone. And the other one is the economical liberty. And whatever you want to buy, and you have opportunity to go and buy today, but you think like that way. And you think, oh, I can buy whatever I want. But underneath that, even though they have it, it's kind of like silently, if you look very carefully, underneath, even though you think that economically you have the liberty to power to choose anything, buy anything the way you want, you don't have it. But people think. But in the ancient time, in the beginning of this human civilization, when they had the struggle, they had the very authentic liberty to experience themselves. But today, it's like, as example, sometimes when you want to go and buy something like Apple computers or the smartphone, when they introduced it the very first time, it is not whatever you want to buy. No, they are the one who gave you. You have to buy this. So today also the same. Even though on the surface level you think, oh, I can buy anything, underneath, because you caught up on that surface level, but you have no power to get that whatever exactly you want. In a certain level, you are surrendered to their product. So, but the thing is, on the surface level, we become so satisfied with the advertisement or the surface level of this manipulation, and then our deeper wisdom go to sleep. That is very dangerous. But in the ancient time, your ancestors, no, they didn't have that. They so awake. That's why they fight for that. That's why they had the real authentic liberty. And the political liberty is something big. And you may think, oh, I have opportunity to give vote and find anybody, whatever we want. But not, it's not like that. You have, sometimes you know, when the election time comes, people do parties, people dancing, singing, you know, wearing flags, they enjoy. But underneath, rather than they using their liberty, they losing their liberty. So that is something. But in the ancient time, people didn't have that. So that's why it's a kind of like a today, the life that we experience, it's a kind of like a became very artificial, shallow level of life. We not really experience deeper level of authentic, even the social, economical, political liberty. And another thing is why it is very important, because the reason is this: liberty not going to make you very limited. So the liberty is kind of like giving you an opportunity to experience your authentic life. When you have the liberty, it makes you liberal. So what is the liberal? So liberal means kind of like accepting behavior related to others, opinion, and the different believings or the ideas. So if you are not liberal, you cannot practice to be, if you are not if you don't have the liberty, you lose the practice to being liberal. So that means you start to depend on others, and then you also start to control others. You're not giving others, not giving opportunity for you, and then at the same time you're not going to give any opportunities to others. It can be maybe others mean from the kings to the even the god, to the kings, or to the governor, or to the husband, wife, or even to the children or the parents. Each other not giving opportunity to each other. But if you are able to have the liberty, that means to practice the way of your life, go with your own way of life, you giving opportunities to others. And when you have opportunity to go your own way, and you are naturally giving others to go their own way, it takes you to liberation. That is the very important part. So What is the liberation? The act of setting someone free from imprisonment or slavery or some kind of power or some kind of authority, releasing the others. So that is liberation. In the society, when it comes to ourselves, if you look very carefully, and as human beings, already we have certain level of liberation in the surface level. But why it called when it come to nibbana, or why it come to transformation, why we say liberation? It's nothing to do with this conventional liberation. So underneath, there is something hold us. That is our desire. So the desire not belong to you. So all the desires, all the craving, all the emotions arising us, it is not personal, it's not belong to you. It's belong to the nature. So then what happened? You have your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. And that your tongue, body, and mind is all the organs, the entire body, head to toes, day and night, 24/7, looking for perception, looking for outside things, objects, with the self-centered idea. So that is itself, it's kind of like a prison. So liberation means you become free from that burning desire. Can you make your eye free from your eye objects? Even though you see things, even though things come to your eyes, can you don't have an inner desire to ponder your eye towards outside? Just practice yourself a little bit consciously, and then you will see what the change happening inside current. So as example, it like this. So you can see this. Nothing can, disturb that. When it appears in front of your eye, there is a seeing happening. But how about from my inside, consciously, intensely, I start to look into this. Oh, look at this. It is so beautiful. Oh, it is so kind of like gold. So like that, when you ponder towards this, what happening? You become a prisoner to entire this universal existence. It is just not only for you. When you ponder, when you push your eye towards the outside things with the desire, looking for satisfaction, you are debtor to this entire universal existence. You become very part of this universal existence. And you are not free from that. You become part of something. So that is kind of like you become a debtor. Once you become a debtor to that nature, what happens? It's a moment by moment going to create a kind of like a link to keep towards that connection. And then maybe there's something hearing. So at the same time, you hear the Dharma, this talk. And if you are pondering too much and, oh, what is this? What is this? What's happening? Naturally, what's happening? Your entire, this physical body become part of this universal existence. And then you become part of it, and then you go with it. You go with it. Even after you stop this, that current start to take you to something, and that's why people, we addicted to listen, not to understand. We keep listening. Even ourselves, we don't know. After after 5 minutes, even we don't know what we listen. So then you have to master listening, because you need only one word maybe. That's it. But if you don't master it, maybe even the Buddha, you listen to the Buddha, you just keep listening. How many enlightened masters maybe, you met, but you just, why? Because you are addicted to listen, not to understand. And the smell, we keep smelling, eating, taste. Because when we eat, we become part of this entire universal current. And then we caught up in that. And we go with it. So when you are caught up in a current, you are not experiencing your freedom. It is not you're losing your liberty. You're losing the way of your life. So then liberation means you have to be free from you. What does that mean? So that's mean this. If somebody asks who you are, the way you explain today, you bring all your history, character, we call it character. And another way, self. That means your past history, you already build up with the memory. So it always, your actions, you have intention to maintain it, keep it, protect it. And then you don't see. You become a part of the universal prison. And you keep maintaining. When you caught up on your own mental image or the self-centered mind or the idea or the self-image, you lose your liberation. So that's why when the spiritual level, we use that liberation, transformation. So you have to be free from you. That is the greatest challenge. That you means the history or your self-centered identity. How you can do that? Because we became like this from that identity. Can we lose it? Even sometimes people cannot understand it, how we can do, why we have to do it, because we are so addicted to maintain it, depend on it, protect it. And we always represent that. Because of that, we can't even digest the idea of, even just the idea of not doing, just the idea of get out of it. We can't handle it. Some people cannot get it even. But the thing is, to experience the way of life as a human being, to experience the highest way of your consciousness, your awareness. Just by maintaining, you cannot do it. To experience the beauty of this human life, you have to get out of this self-centered mental identity. If you're able to do that, in that very moment, you're going to recognize what is the meaning of this human being. So most of us come to this world and live like human beings, but we die losing the power, the ability to experience what is this human being. So don't lose it. That what the maintaining part is, we used to do in the samsaric journey, eons by eons backward, we used to do it, maintaining this. Whatever the identity that we maintain, everybody keep doing it, and we also used to do it, but by the time, this is all going to change. No one can stop it. So what the identity that you hold, just look into your own back. Like no need to go too far. Just 10 years, 5 years, go backward. And whatever the identity you hold yourself, no longer that you can bring up today. So then even this identity that we hold as today, maybe by tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, it's not going to be here with us today. But when we are interfering, just maintaining, we lose the best opportunity that we have. That's mean the present moment. We lose that opportunity. So then remember, as a human being, don't afraid to experience your highest level of intellect. It's a great challenge. That challenge comes from within us, not from outside. Don't look somewhere else. So that's why look into yourself. You are the greatest hindrance that you have. You are the greatest resistance that build up yourself with your own mental image that you have. So don't maintain it, because by the time somehow it's going to go, you can't hold anything. And accept that truth. Just let go and settle down with the moment. So for that, focus to your own inhalation, exhalation. Be with it. When you be with it, remember, in the beginning, you will see inhalation, exhalation. Just keep observe. If the mind go here and there, bring it back again and again. Moment by moment. And remember to master the way of seeing without judging, without commenting, have an inner conversation. Just simply, with very clear mind, learn to watch. Learn to see. And when you see that way, sometimes, most of the time, listen this very carefully and get it. Mostly sometimes, what happening, your mind has a desire to settle down. And maybe for that, you bringing that whatever happened, the past experience. So this is a method. Learn to see without settle down. Don't settle down. Just keep watching. In the certain level, by the time naturally your mind come to a point to see very carefully, and the seeing become the moment of settling down, not with the experience that you had. You settle down with the seeing, not the different kind of experience. And once you settle down with the seeing, not with the outside experience, that is where your tranquility state going to be with you. Once you have that, the moment by moment, that whatever happening or experience or even the perception and the perceiver, subject and object, the both, you will see moment by moment change. When it comes to that, you will understand the way underneath this all, what is the deeper nature, that is change. So that is where I keep going. Once you have that, you come to a point to experience anything without holding, without grasping, without collecting. When you're able to have a mind to experience something without collecting, there's nothing to let go. Why? Because there's nothing you hold. When there's nothing to let go, and your mind just experience by itself, moment by moment, that is what we call the direct perception. Once you have that direct perception, your mind will never ponder towards the future and not dependent from the past. It will really become comfortable with the moment of existence. So that is where I keep going. Let's get into practice a little bit. Your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. Bring attention to your body and scan head to toes 3 times yourself and say Sopat Deva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens, just recognize. Inhalation has inhalations, exhalations has exhalations. Do nothing extra. Bring attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe, also as well as through other planet, galaxies, stars. Reminding yourself like this with clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward, and upward. To all 6 directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Also may all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata cammehi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhutanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddhang pujemi dhammang pujemi sanghang pujemi attaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadhi maranam ha paribunjissami idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu Sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.